Good evening and welcome. I'm Selena Mead with the Vsb TV 11 Evening News on this Friday, June the 6th. Our top story tonight, Finance Minister Bob Richards responded today to the call by the People's Campaign for Government to follow through with his budget statement that the Bermuda banks were not playing a strong enough role in the island's fight to recover from the economic meltdown.
Well, it's only been a few months since I uttered those words, but I guess I was somewhat bemused about it because the redundancies in the banking sector have been going on since at least 2003, and no minister of the former government uttered one word about it. Not one word. And it was not until I made my statements in this House about that it was a significant issue. Did any government figure say anything about it? So for them to come up and they're trying to bring it to the government's attention, the government kind of brought it to their attention. So I wasn't sure what the purpose of their statement was, because we were fully aware of the situation, said so. Very shortly after we took office, the former Premier and myself met with all the government unions, and they told us what were on their minds. And the issue of banking was on their minds. It was one of the three issues. It was cost of food, it was cost of power, and it was banking facilities. So that message was delivered loud and clear almost a year and a half ago. These are not easy problems to solve. You just can't flick a switch and have these things done. The notion that either the government or the BMA can force banks to do things is a clear indication of the folks who made that statement don't really have an understanding of the world that we live in. It's really important for banks' activities to be in alignment with the requirements of the country. And I will reiterate that presently is not the case. And that concerns me as Minister of Finance. But the group that made the statements yesterday really served no purpose, because the government is fully aware of the problem and is doing its best to address it.
For the first time in living memory, Bermuda's standard premium rate, on which the basic premium rate of every health insurance policy is calculated, went down this year by $24, from $325 to $301. Making the announcement, Health Minister Jean Atherton said that last year Bermuda saw a leveling off of total health spending for the first time in over a decade, but actual costs had continued to rise. The hit premium as of June the 1st remained the same as last year at $390 a month, while future care premiums rose by $10 a month to $450. This had been achieved despite the ministry having to reduce its budget by $17 million and face cuts in subsidies to all insurance plans, including HIP and future care. In other news, following a 2-year investigation into the circumstances surrounding former Premier Dr. Ewart Brown and Minister Derek Burgess's funding a lawsuit with public money, the Parliamentary Standing Committee on the Public Accounts has agreed with the Auditor General that this constituted a misuse of public funds. The PAC, made up of OBA parliamentarians Cole Simons, Glenn Smith, and Jeff Sousa, the PLP's David Burt and Lovita Fogo, and independent Terry Lister, now recommends that Cabinet be allowed to support a civil action taken by a minister against anyone who defames and damages his or her reputation when carrying out official duties. The committee said it had been dismayed at the unwillingness of Attorney General's chambers to share information with the Auditor General and does not accept their claim of prejudice, but it saved its ire for 2 people who refused to appear before them: former Permanent Secretary for Legal Affairs Kathy Lightbourne-Simmons and former Attorney General Michael Scott, MP. Yesterday's public press conference at Reed and Queen Streets by representatives of the People's Campaign was a noisy affair, as speakers calling for change were nearly drowned out by the traffic and attendant city noises. Vsb's Charles Webb asked the Reverend Nicholas Tweed about the effectiveness of such gatherings.
I think that The effectiveness has to be understood in terms of recognizing that a public display, whether it's a march, whether it's a press conference, is merely one dimension of an overall strategy that is designed to bring issues to the forefront in order to get people to engage in those issues. Because if people are not engaged in issues, then they can't be resolved or even debated and discussed.
But the people who sit around the tables in financial institutions, do you think they will hear you?
I think they hear, and from the feedback that we get, I mean, it is very clear that they do pay attention. I believe that most people are good citizens, and they try to stay informed about what's going on in the public, and people are interested in issues that affect them. And so when issues get raised, they pay attention. As I think that the People's Campaign has been built around a series of core issues, and all of the persons involved in the campaign share those core issues and those core values. And part of what the People's Campaign has demonstrated is that those core values and issues are not only shared by a limited number of people or the people that are immediately connected to the campaign, but that they resonate deeply with people across the island of Bermuda.
The question is racism behind the policies of the island's lending institutions, as Jason Hayward, president of the Bermuda Public Service Union, asserted.
Indirectly, yes. It is systematic over the times that these policies still exist, but they're not direct, but they're indirect now. The unions believe in the principles of the People's Campaign, and we wouldn't be here if we didn't believe in the 12 issues, or equality, jobs, and justice. We've been fighting for equality, jobs, and justice from our front for several years, and now we've just partnered with community representatives to strengthen that particular approach.
Do you see a light at the end of this tunnel?
I wouldn't be here if I wasn't optimistic that things would change.
The opposition is not about to give up its fight to have the salaries of highly placed government appointees revealed to the public, along with the contract signed with consultants. In Parliament today, PLP parliamentarian Wayne Ferpert moved a motion which, if passed, would require government ministers to reveal the salaries and contracts of anyone receiving in excess of $50,000 annually when asked to do so in Parliament.
Or at least for the last 6 months, we've been asking government information on the Tourism Authority. And it's our view, particularly if an entity is giving funding by the government, and this entity, Tourism Authority, receives at least 90% of its funding from government, that the shareholders, which is the taxpayers, should know certain information. So we're saying that any entity that receives at least $50,000 or more from the government, that information should be disclosed to government if the House of Parliament asks certain questions, such as what is the salary by the CEO, and other information such as contracts, and it's reasonable for us to ask the question.
So you would select the post that you were interested in? It wouldn't be a normal thing for every post that is announced?
No, we're saying that if the information is asked, then that question should be answered. No information should be hidden, such as who receives contracts for advertising, and why, how much was given to it. Simple, nothing hard to question.
You used to do that. You used to.
We use every government department, and when you're giving out $23 million, somebody should ask the question, simplest question, what is the funding for, and where is it going?
And still ahead is Rachel Sodden with the weather preview.
Thanks, Selena. Passing light evening showers, patchy light rain later. On the radar, we see the showers in the marine area, but please stay tuned for the full weather report as we find out who won Photo of the Week.
The weather radar picture provided courtesy of the Ministry of Transport on Vsb TV 11.
Bermuda-grown red potatoes, only $4.69 for a 5-pound bag. Great on the grill, fresh Purdue chicken thighs, only $1.99 per pound. Kellogg's Corn Pops, Fruit Loops, and Applejack cereal, only $4.99 for a 21-ounce box. Brush on the best Kraft barbecue sauce 18-ounce bottle, only $1.69. Save $1.71 on Libby's regular mayonnaise, 30-ounce jar, only $4.09. All stores open until 10 p.m. for your shopping convenience.
You can count on us.
Laugh. Learn. Love. Life on Logic TV is that much better. Logic TV bundles include Internet plus access, high-definition TV, and home phone, starting at $179 with a free install. LOL. Enjoy life on Logic TV.
Now at Big Savings Zone, there's the Kids Zone. See the latest bedroom ideas for tots to teens. There's a large selection of beds, bedding, all kind of furniture designed especially in mind for your child. And see the array of accessories for all ages. Big Savings Zone is the home of Ashley Furniture and Serta Mattresses in Bermuda. And the Kids Zone is only at Big Savings Zone, at the end of Stocks Road, St. David's.
I just downloaded the Layer app for the Bermuda Sun, and it is so cool. You can find so many new videos, and you can watch sports and news and pictures and everything. You have to download it. It's really neat. All you have to do is put your phone over the image, and the image comes to life. You have a full video of everything. It's really, really neat.
Yes, I just downloaded the Layer, and it works pretty good.
I think it's great.
I've never seen anything like it. It was unbelievable.
Yes, I tried the app this morning, and I think it's great.
Hi, I'm Peter Gilletti, host of Season to Taste. Tune in on Tuesday night during the Vsb Tv 11 News. I'll be here with Chef Ian Carruthers from Bermuda Catering. He'll be preparing this beautiful dish of tenderloin of beef with roasted parsnips and a gratin dauphinoise, and find out from Simon what the Gosling's wine of the week is.
Tuesday during the Vsb TV 11 News.
Welcome back to VSB TV 11. Government and opposition were in full agreement for once today when Minister of Community and Cultural Affairs Wayne Scott said there would be no new hero announced in 2014, but the selection process would be resurrected to enable one to be picked in June of 2015. First we'll hear from Wayne Scott, then Walter Robin replied for the opposition.
We'll be putting together the committee and getting the criteria information out to the public. It's important that we understand our history, and I think more importantly, let's take the time to get the programs in the school to educate our children and such, because you can name 100 national heroes, but if you don't really do anything to actually teach the history or have people really understand the contributions to our community and our culture, then that is a failed effort. So I think that it's recognized that honoring our people are important, and we have to make sure that we provide the requisite education that goes with it.
Why would you stick at just one then?
Well, I think that we'll start there. I mean, I certainly have my ideas of where I think it could go, but again, there's criteria that's in place. There's a committee that will be struck, and their remit is to go through the criteria, to look at names, to get that information from the public as well. So we'll see where that goes.
We are totally in agreement with the statement made by the minister today. No objections whatsoever. It was never the intention that there will be national heroes made every year. And I think when you consider what might be the criteria for a national hero, it is a very carefully considered and rare association to make to anyone. And it may be that we have named all the national heroes that we will name this generation. It may be that there will be others who might be considered in the near future. But we think that what the minister has outlined is appropriate. We certainly believe that certain media reports, particularly in the Gazette this week, about the failure to name is a failure. We categorically disagree of any failure. If we all, I think about it, people who are national heroes are rare quantities in any community. And so we must carefully consider, as I said, who we look at, the criteria that we lay out for choosing it, because ultimately these are people that will be forever, for all time, considered to be persons of recognition in the community.
Brothers Michael Talbot and Chantané Talbot appeared in Supreme Court today on gun charges. 23-year-old Michael Talbot of Hamilton Parish had been charged with possessing a .38 caliber handgun at the Devonshire Recreational Club on March the 24th in 2013. He had also been charged with possessing a stun gun in Hamilton Parish on March the 27th, as well as a handgun with ammunition. The defendant's older brother, Chantané Talbot, was charged with possessing a .38 caliber firearm between an unknown date and March the 28th, 2013. The two men appeared for mention to discuss the charges and a trial date. The two men will reappear at a later date for a future mention. With the world celebrating Environment Day, the Progressive Labor Party managed to steal a march on the government by issuing a statement highlighting the day's theme, which is Small Islands, Climate Change, and it fits in with what Bermuda might be facing. Shadow Environment Minister Glenn Lakney made the running.
In the event that there is the continued global warming where the ice in the Arctics are melting continuously, then Bermuda needs to be concerned because of our relatively low level above sea level and the impact and effect that a rising of the sea level would have invariably on our entire island.
And you're using today, which is Environmental Day, it seemed to be passing almost unnoticed otherwise.
Absolutely. Just to bring it to the attention of Bermudians, because, you know, when things are on the back burner, you tend not to really give it the kind of consideration that it truly deserves. And as the Shadow Minister of the Environment, I felt it was necessary for us to just bring front and center again just the consideration, particularly with regard to the white paper that the former government under the Progressive Labor Party ministers who had responsibility over the course of time for the environment had brought forward with respect to considering the impact that fossil fuel has on the island, also alternative energy and other environmental considerations that would bode well for future generations of Bermudians and the country itself.
Coincidentally enough, Premier Michael Dunkley provided the House with a briefing on where Bermuda stands with the EEZ concept and the Blue Halo negotiations.
This subject has been on the radar for some time. The former government had started some work and actually built a relationship with people on in regards to a number of the options. I guess the long and the short of it is that we have a tremendous asset that surrounds us in the EEZ, and before we make any decisions on what to do, whether it's a marine reserve or whether we deep sea mine or anything like that, fishing industry, we need to make sure that we consider all options, and one of them is that we need to look at an economic analysis of it. None of that's been done to this point. We've been lobbied by Pew and many other people, and that's good. You know, it's good to hear what takes place, but our EEZ is a tremendous resource for Bermuda, and while we want to protect our environment moving forward, it's important before we make any decisions that we take a look at the economic consequences of any of those decisions we make. So today I announced that we will be taking an economic look at it. We'll put out a request for quote in that regard, and also we will release the public consultation that former Minister Sylvan Richards undertook last October. That will be released probably in a few days or a couple of weeks. It's a good document, some good background information.
Now let's take a look at the daily markets presented by Bias. Here are the daily markets presented by Bias. U.S. markets gained from positive economic data, while Europe continued positive momentum from yesterday. U.S. equity indices extended their rally for the week after data showed employment numbers improved. The Nasdaq gained 0.59%, while the S&P 500 gained 0.46% at the end of trading. The Bermuda Stock Exchange closed today at 1,412.35, down 0.28%. Volumes were witnessed in Key Tech and Argus shares. Other Bermuda-related stocks listed in the U.S. were mixed. European stocks maintained positive momentum after yesterday's ECB announcement, with the DAX gaining 0.4% to close at 9,987. UK markets were also up, with the FTSE up 0.66% at the end of trading. Chinese and Hong Kong indices declined after Templeton Equity Group reported caution on Chinese banks. The Hang Seng Index was down 0.69%, while Shanghai declined 0.54%. The Brazilian index gained over 3% today after a poll showed a further drop in support of President Dilma Rousseff. The Vsb closed at 53,115 at the end of trading. S&P affirmed the U.S.'s AA+ credit rating with a stable outlook moving forward. The report cited resiliency and diversity in the economy.
The 10-year U.S. Treasury currently yields 2.6%. The U.S. dollar strengthened against major currencies as U.S. employment data showed strength in the economy. The U.S. dollar gained 0.12% against the euro as of last trade. That was a look at the daily markets presented by Bias. There's more news after the break.
Save $1.10 per 1 pound package of Bar-S hot dogs, only $1.09. Save $3 each on whole seedless watermelons, only $12.99 each. Save $1.45 on Hunt's Ketchup, 35-ounce bottle, only $1.99. The Snack for Life, the yogurt, all varieties, only $1.09 for a 6-ounce tub. Regular or Diet Coca-Cola soda, only $3.49. All stores open until 10 p.m. for your shopping convenience.
Do you know your rights as a consumer? Visit the Consumer Affairs website to find out how to hire a contractor, how to buy and maintain your vehicle, information on buying secondhand goods, tips for seniors and teens, personal finance tips, product recall information, to file a complaint with Consumer Affairs. For the latest consumer news and much more, visit ca.gov.bm.
If you've been the victim of an uninsured or hit-and-run driver, your medical and other expenses may not be covered by your insurance. The good news is, there is coverage. The Motor Insurers Fund can provide you with compensation to help you through the crisis, whether suffering from physical injury, loss of wages, or extra expense incurred as a result of your injuries. For further information about the Motor Insurers Fund, visit mif.bm or call 505-8555. The Motor Insurers Fund, assurance after the unexpected.
Welcome back. Let's check in with Earl Baisden with our sports report.
The 2014 Validez Bermuda Swimming National Long Course Championships got underway last evening at the National Sports Center. Ashley Irby won the girls 12 and under 400-meter freestyle with a time of 4:59.20. Emma Harvey finished second in a time of 5:02.32. And Skylar Powell finished in third in a time of 5:25.13. Ethan Daly clocked a personal best time of 5:58.19 on his way to winning the boys 12 and under 400-meter freestyle. Madeline Moore was clocked at 27.27 during the mixed 50-meter freestyle qualifying time trial, while Rebecca Heiliger clocked a personal best time of 28.87 in the mixed 50-meter butterfly qualifying time trial. Local fitness center, Seaview Fitness Pros Limited, has been sculpting bodies and promoting healthy living for a decade. One of the partners, Madeline DeRosa, explains why Seaview stands out from other gyms.
I think the difference between us and maybe some other people and other gyms and other coaches is that we're very encouraging. We really will look at someone and we'll tell them how they look and what we think that their potential is. I think just the encouragement from the trainers and from the front desk staff and from the members. The members are just as encouraging as the staff is.
The Bermuda National Athletic Association held a last chance meet at the National Sports Center last evening, with Jasmine Brunson needing to leap 13 meters to qualify for the upcoming Commonwealth Games in the women's triple jump. However, she could only reach the mark of 12.40 meters. Meanwhile, Shaquille Deal and Trey Simons competed in the third New Balance Boston Twilight meet recently. Deal led the field in the men's 800-meter race from start to finish, clocking a time of 1:49.74. Simons competed in the men's 1,500-meter race, where he finished 6th with a personal best time of 3:52.30. The ISAF Women's Match Racing World Championships continued in Cork, Ireland, with Emily Nagel sailing alongside Annabelle Voss, who is the skipper, and they had another tough day on the water, missing out on a quarterfinal spot. The team finished with an identical record as they did on day one, with 2 wins and 4 losses, finishing in 9th place. Jillian Teixeira began competing in the Magna Rinso Spring Tour International Horse Jumping event in Austria. Teixeira and Tamarino finished 20th, taking part in the 1.45-meter class with a clear round time of 77.53. During the 1.50 meter class, Teixeira and Lacval finished 20th with a time of 49.52, and they had 1 penalty fault point. The Argo Reed Triathlon Summer Series continued at the Clearwater Beach last evening, where Tucker Murphy ran to victory in a time of 23.28. Nicholas Pilgrim finished in second in a time of 26 minutes flat, and Megan Kelly finished in third in a time of 26:09. I'm Earl Basden reporting for VSB Sports.
Hi, I'm Robert Pearies at the Vasco da Gama Club. Please join me as I host a panel discussion on the Portuguese in Bermuda on VSB Channel 11.
Friday, June the 6th at 9 p.m. and Sunday, June the 8th at 8 p.m.
Kindly sponsored by Colonial Insurance, Belco, the power to save, Lindo's, why go anyplace else, by Bermuda Investment Advisory Services, and by Goslings.
Good evening, everyone. TGI Friday, and welcome to tonight's VSB weather forecast. Our weather shot is brought to us by Stephen Rossiter, taken at sunrise at Devonshire Bay. Absolutely beautiful sunrise. I actually thought this was a sunset at first. Incredible colors, or the deep blue sea off of Devonshire Bay into beautiful oranges and golds, beautiful cloud formation streaking the sky and giving the sun a very strange but wonderful shape. And thank you, Stephen, for sending this shot in. Temperatures for today, we had a high of 78 at 2 in the afternoon and a low of 69 at 9 in the morning. Currently, it's 75 degrees, humidity 85%, wind south-southwest 10 to 15 knots, and barometric pressure is unsteady at 30.06 inches. Rainfall index the month of June, 0.63 for a yearly total of 24.7. Yearly normal for this time, 22.56 inches. And looking at the satellite, tropical moisture converging over the area ahead of a cold front will bring patchy light rain and a slight chance of thunder later this evening through early Saturday morning. A few showers arrive by Saturday evening, and then a developing low brings in showers, rain and isolated thunderstorms from late Saturday night into Sunday evening as the low intensifies. And if you're traveling, Atlanta mostly cloudy, 88, Boston mostly sunny, 80, Charlotte mostly cloudy, 85, London rain, 69, Miami 86, partly cloudy, New York 82, mostly sunny, Orlando 93, mostly cloudy, Philadelphia mostly sunny and 84, Toronto sunny and 81, and Washington 85 and partly cloudy. Back at home tonight, cloudy, a few showers, patchy rain light with a slight chance of thunder, low near 72, wind south-southwest 10 to 15 knots with higher gusts in showers, and then veering southwest later. Tomorrow, cloudy, early light rain, by the evening showers and a risk of thunder, high near 79, wind southwest 12 to 18 knots, then increasing to 18 to 22 knots with higher gusts in showers. Marine tonight, no warnings, seas inside the reef 0 to 1 foot, seas outside the reef 3 to 5 feet, and the sea surface temperature is 76 degrees. Marine tomorrow, small craft warning with seas inside the reef 1 to 2 feet, seas outside the reef 3 to 6 feet. Low tide will be at 10:23 in the morning and high tide will be at 4:47 in the afternoon. And taking a look at the 5-day forecast. Sunday, overcast, rain and showers and isolated thunder into the evening. Windy, high near 78. Monday, mix of sun and cloud with a few early showers, high near 79. Tuesday, partly cloudy with a high near 77, and Wednesday, mostly sunny with a high near 89. Congratulations to Stephen Rossiter, our photo winner of the week, for this gorgeous shot that you sent in today. We'll be in contact with you about your prize, dinner for two at one of Bermuda's finest restaurants. Thank you to Michelle Pitcher and Fred Briley, our meteorologist tonight, and everyone at the Bermuda Weather Service. I'm Rachel Sodden. Have a great weekend.
And we thank you for choosing to spend your evening with us at VSB TV 11. Have a safe and wonderful weekend. Good night, Bermuda.
Wardrobe and makeup for Rachel Sodden, provided by Gibbons Company.
VSB TV 11, Bermuda.